Good morning, guys, and welcome back to my next video, which is going to be your worst club experience and me reading them out loud and me commenting on them. Now, I already have 11 people who responded, so I'm excited to read them off, and then at the very end I'll tell one of mine that my friend actually asked me to tell for fun. Because you guys all commented, I think I should say something. I'm going to be training in the meantime. We're just going to see how that goes. So, the first comment is from River, SSO. And this says, so once we were having a fun event in the manor. At the time, I wasn't a star rider and was a noob. I started to keep asking them to come tomorrow and they didn't, and I felt left out. So I went off on them a little and I got kicked out. They were the ones doing something wrong. Alright. I say if you're going to invite a noob to the club, or invite like anyone who can't like go to certain places, then that's on you to make sure they are entertained and not feel left out. Myself, I put a level limit, so I don't let people like 16 or below in my club because they don't have certain areas that we usually go to, and I don't think that's very fair on them if they can't go there and everyone else will, because then they can't participate in the club events. So in my opinion, maybe River shouldn't have got off on them, but she is right. If she's gonna be in their club, they should at least notice her and come to Moreland probably, because they're the ones who let her in. So I don't think it's right to tease them about it or anything, or like just leave them out. So just like if you are someone running a club, just make sure if you're going to invite a noob to include them in the club and make sure that they're not left out. Alright, so our next comment is from Kaylee Stinko. So, she reads, I used to be in a club that I thought everyone was really nice and stuff. I joined because my really close friend was in it. One day after I joined, I attended my first dressage practice, and it was all going fine until I messed up a really hard move. Keep in mind, this was a beginner practice, and the move was a legit elite move. The co-owner started to scream at me in the call, and I felt so sad I started to cry, actually. Good thing I was on mute, but they again kicked me, and I cried more, and then lost my SSO for a week because my dad saw I was crying and thought that someone was really rude on there, which they were. Okay, if you're going to have a dressage commander in your club, I would suggest that you pick someone who's very calm and someone who can handle it when people mess up. And if you're going to teach a beginner lesson, make sure that you don't do any moves that aren't beginner, like especially elite moves. That's pretty bad on their part. But and don't start screaming at the people if they mess up, because some people do have more troubles than you might have in dressage sometimes, and that's not right to do that. So I agree, she shouldn't have been screaming, because that was pretty rude. And I understand your side of the point where you started crying and everything. I would say it made sense why you started crying and stuff. Just if you're gonna do dressage, like I tell this to some of my people in my club, because they're like, oh, I can't do it, oh, it's too hard. I would just suggest keep trying. Don't give up on it, or else if you just give up, it's just gonna show that you just not gonna learn it, and it's not gonna make the club owners believe that you're gonna keep working on it. So I would just suggest don't give up on it and just keep working gradually at it until you get better. That's what I did. For me, I came from Maple Star, so all the dressage moves I learned all were different names. Everything was a different name because we couldn't say very many things in Maple Star. And when I moved to Chocolate Cupcake, I had to learn all sorts of different moves, so I had to start from the very beginning. Although I already knew what some of the moves were, I just didn't know the names of them. So it was hard for me, but my commanders were all understanding of it and still taught me. Alright, sorry, I'm like, keep stopping, I'm not training. Alright, this next comment is from Sarah Woodrock. Okay, so I've never been in a club with drama or anything. I've always loved everyone in every single one of my past clubs. However, one time I went to my very first dressage lesson, and let me tell you, I absolutely sucked at dressage. And so basically we were doing curls, and it was fairly simple, and then we went on to different moves. And that's when the wall started to come crashing down. I messed up on every single move. The instructor didn't really mind because she knew I was only starting out, but I was so embarrassed and panicking. It was pretty bad. That was probably my worst club memory. And thank you for that last comment. Okay, so that instructor was really nice because she was understanding, like I was saying before. I'm gonna say, if you're new at dressage, just take it easy. Don't worry about it. The commanders are there to help you and guide you through it. So they know what they're doing. You might not know what you're doing, but you just have to put your trust in their hands and be calm about it. They're fine if you mess up as long as you try your best to learn it. So I would advise, yeah, it can be pretty embarrassing if you keep messing up in front of a lot of people. But just remember that they once had to learn this, and they once probably messed up on this. So just to keep trying at it and keep yourself motivated about it. As long as you're trying, it should be fine. As long as you stay calm. Just think of it as like a fun game your club's playing, is learning dressage and stuff. So, and I've even been stressed out about dressage before, like before competitions and stuff. But once a competition happens, I just remember it's a fun game and no harm done if you do it or not, and just enjoy your time. Like, you're not gonna be judged by a whole lot of people, so just enjoy your time doing dressage. All right, this next one was from Haley Emerald Brook. Hello, Fanta. Her comment was, one time my club was doing an event and I was a bit late and they started to yell at me for no reason. I even told them I was going to be a few minutes late, and then I logged off and logged back on and they kicked me from the club. Okay, that was the right thing to do, to tell them that you were going to be a bit late. If you're going to tell someone, if you're going to tell your club that you're going to be a bit late, then they're going to have to accept that. If they kick you for being a bit late after you even told them, that's not right. I mean, I make all my club members, because my friend Archie doesn't have Discord, so my club is a no Discord using club. But I tell all the club members as soon as they join, if you're not going to be on for practice, please mail me and I'll let you off fine. Because everyone has stuff going on. Everyone can't make it to dressage practice sometimes. I know Fanta has horses to take care of, so you can't blame them for being a bit late sometimes. You have to accept that. So if you're going to be club owner, just make sure to keep that in mind, is that everyone has stuff going on in their life, and they can't always focus on dressage. They can't always focus on getting on time. Oh, I almost lost it there. Alright, my next comment is from Banana, aka Myra Skywalker. I love that last name, by the way. The club I owned a long time ago, I made a club. I think the name was Banana Star Squad or something, I don't know. And I didn't know why I made that club, but it was horrible. I never did anything in it. I now feel bad for all the people who joined it. Also, it was so bad that my younger sister left it after being in it for a few days. Okay, if you own a club, don't worry. My first club was terrible. I got the max amount of members in 2 days, but they were all random people that I just invited to the club because I didn't know what I was doing or anything. So don't worry about it. I feel bad for the people who I made an outfit. It was really bad. It was really expensive too. I didn't have anything of the outfit, but some of the club members actually went and bought it, and I feel kind of bad about it now. What did I just win? Something. Glacial Bridal. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Okay. That is kind of sad. But again, if you're starting out or just having a club that's not working well, that's alright. If you didn't like the name, then I would say, okay, if you don't have very many people, then try it. Oh my gosh. I'm riding a bear. I look hilarious. Oh my gosh. It's so fuzzy. Oh my gosh, I want to ride a moose. A moose is the best. What? Return to my usual mount before I get a new one. Whoa, it's a daily quest. Oh, that's cool. Oh. Yeah, so I would just advise doing that. Alright. my gosh. Alright, this next comment is from Adeline Shadowhoof. It states, my worst club experience was when my friend told me to buy a very expensive course for the club I wasn't in. When I was a beginner, I then told my current, at the time, owner to kick me out so I could be in her club because there was too much drama in the club. And then she added me to her club even though it wasn't a club. It wasn't even a club I was interested in, and forced me to buy all the tack, which I didn't. Months later, I'm in a club I like, and she mails me and says that she hates me for something I didn't do. Then she pushed a club to me that I didn't join, and they spam my computer and inbox with club messages. Thankfully, I'm now in a club. I love it very much at the moment. Okay, I would have said, first of all, my first comment is, don't ask someone to kick you from the club. Just leave the club and make sure to mail them that you're leaving, because it kind of is rude to the club owner to just leave on them, so I would advise mailing them and just telling them what's going on while you're leaving. But, like, other than that, so it's kind of hard not to have a club. I get what she's doing, like, she's trying to make a clubhouse group or whatever or something. I would have just ignored her and left her alone before starting all this drama and stuff. And you ignore her, she can't get to you, she can't spam you or anything, like, oh my gosh, like she was going to. Alright, and then, like, I'm glad that you found a club that you really like. That's really important. A lot of people have a hard time finding their dream club, and they turn into club hoppers that way. So I'm really happy that you found your dream club. Alright, the next comment is from Magic Man. I had to do this one just because it's magic. Alright, so, once upon a time, this weirdo named Oreo, I think her name in the game was Renee Proudstone or something, weird like that, joined my club I owned a few years ago. She was crazy and had lots of energy, even smelled funny. Like a year later, I still talk to her, and that's why she's one of my best friends. Thank you, Magic. I don't know what you're talking about. I was adored in that club. I was like, yeah, you and Ross adored me. Be quiet. And I think you're the one who actually did smell funny. I said something about that. So don't be giving me that lies. All right, the next one we have is from Pam, Aviadicado. I'm gonna be reading the two of them out because she sent me two. So her first one was, my favorite club just had disband. I'm assuming she's talking about Misty Falls Alliance. My favorite club just had disband. I was ready to move on and have fun. Well, I was asked to get the club outfit, tack, and horse ASAP. I had the money, so I did it. Then not more than a few weeks later, the club was deleted. Okay, if you're gonna own a club and you're gonna make them buy a horse and a tack, don't delete it after 2 weeks. If you're gonna make a club, stick with it and work at it so it actually grows, because it's hard on the players to have to waste their star coins for a club, and that's what trial members are for, just to wait to see how it's gonna play out. And that's why some people aren't loyal to buy a club outfit right away. It's because they're not sure if you're gonna disband or not. So if you want to keep that loyalty, make sure that you don't disband right away and it's fair on the club members, or tell them, don't buy the full club outfit yet. I don't know if I feel like keeping the club yet. I want to try it out to see how it works. Just make sure they have some sort of way of knowing that they don't have to buy the full club outfit if you're not going to keep it, because that's kind of bad on them. Her second one was, I got into this club and everyone seemed nice. I got warm welcome and whatnot. No later than 2 seconds later, these people started to make fun of Furies. My cousin and other people enjoy being Furies. For some, it's their job, so he took offense to it. I was also a Fury. I asked them, so can I be in it? I'm a Fury, but I don't have the costume. They said, yeah, as long as you don't get the outfit. They continued to make fun of Furies in front of me. As soon as everyone got off, I left. Okay, be careful what you say in clubs, especially to members in it, because not everyone's exactly like you. Some people might enjoy different things that you do. Some people might be different things than you do. So don't start saying a bunch of things. It's like the same thing as if you're teasing a club about it. Like, let's say her best friend was in this club and you're teasing them. That's really bad. That's kind of being rude, and that shows that your club's just not a nice club to be in, and it will make members discouraged to be in it. And once you start saying rude things, the drama actually spreads, and more people start hearing about your club and how they're kind of rude, it would encourage less people to join. So I would advise not talking bad in your club. Keep it nice, keep it friendly, especially some things that you might not realize people are. I'm sorry for my loud clip keyboard. So just be aware of what you say around people. And yes, everyone has their own opinions. I actually had this incident a few days ago where I said my own opinion. It was kind of rude, but I still said it. I don't know why I was thinking about it. And my friend actually told that person what I said, but we have it handled now, and I apologize for what I said, and I fixed it. So again, just be wary what you say. I don't want you guys to end up having any sort of trouble. So that's my idea. Alright, my next one is actually from mail that my friend sent to me. So I'm gonna go read that. So when I was a noob, or let's just say a non-star rider, I joined this huge messy club. We had meetings and stampedes and blah blah. So they told me I had to get the club horse ASAP, which was a nab tripper. I told them I was a non-star rider, so they kicked me out. They started following me around Okay, if a club's gonna ask you to buy a club horse when you're a non-star rider, that's pretty bad on the club, because before they invite you, they should see if you're a non-star rider or not. I mean, I have to ask that when I give interviews. So if you're not a non-star rider and they expect you to get a horse, that's not on you. That's on the club for making that mistake and still inviting you, even if they might have known it, or even if you told them, and then kicking you out because of it. It's kind of their fault that they invited you. At least be nice about it. Be like, oh, okay, I'll give you a few days, and if you can't get star rider, then I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to kick you or something. But I'm glad that you joined our club, and I hope you have an amazing day or something. Just be nice about it. Don't just straight up kick them if they can't get the horse. I've had that problem before. I've had someone who wanted to join really bad, but they were a non-star rider, and I told them, let's see how it plays out, and they actually did end up getting the horse and everything, and they were so excited. So again, just be wary if they're gonna be noobs or non-star riders or anything. So again, watch out who you're inviting to your club. Make sure you give them an interview or something beforehand, just to see if they're ready to be in your club. Alright, now we're to the end of the video where I say mine. So my friend Trippy actually asked me to say this. So recently I was in a club and I was doing really well in the club. It was a lot of nice people. It was an all-around club too. I wouldn't like to say the name. But I showed up to every one of the events. I bought the full club outfit. I had the club horse. They had like 6 different club horses, and I bought every single one of them. And I was all ready for everything. And one night, me and my friend Cherry and Trippy, we all were messing around with our huge Jorvik Wilds. When they the magical Jorvik Wilds, I don't know what their names are now, like Windfall or something. It's like those huge ones that are Shire built ones. But we were all messing around with them, and we really grew to love them, and we were teasing each other, saying like, oh, we should use this for dressage. Well, one day we were pulling a prank on the club, and I mean, I changed out of it when they asked me to. I wasn't just like totally disobeying them, and I was respectful and waited to the very end of dressage practice to change into it. But we came to practice. At the end of practice, we all disappeared, and everyone's like, "Oh, where'd you go?" And we came back with our giant horses and joined in the line. And we got to the end of the line, so we didn't interrupt them. And the club owner's like, "Oh, fine. Can you guys please change back? I know this is a joke for you guys, but like we're doing dressage." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll change back." So we went to go change back. When they asked us to change back, we said okay, and so we went to go change back. And when we came back, the dressage leader, the owner of the club, was like, you know, practice is over. I want to talk to the 2 co-owners. So she went to go talk to them, and I was getting really nervous at the time. I didn't know what was going on. But like I showed up to every practice. I was really loyal to them. I got everything they asked for, which is 6 club horses and then like several different outfits. Oh no, there's 1 outfit. Sorry about that. And then like after a few minutes, I go on my DMs. And I see, so I have to report that you are going to be kicked from the club for being unloyal. Anyway, She was saying, you were messing around at dressage practice, and we just don't think you're a right fit for this club. Thank you for joining. And yes, she was nice about it, but it made a bunch of my friends that I made in the club kind of upset, and they were all planning on fighting to get me back, even if they got kicked, which is really loyal of them, but I didn't want to mess anything up in the club. So I just told them, it's alright, I'll go find a different club to join, and that's exactly what I did. I don't like, myself, even if I get kicked from a club, I don't enjoy starting drama in the club. I just want to leave it be. It's their opinion. I know how it feels to be a club owner. I have to make tough decisions, so I understand completely. I was a little bit upset about it, but I got over it. But, again, I just didn't understand. This is what puzzled us, was I don't understand how we got kicked, because I was the only one who got kicked out of all three of us. In my opinion, the club owner always seemed to not like me for some reason. I have no idea why, but I was kicked from the club, and then my friend Cherry and Trippy weren't kicked. It was just me, but we all three did it together, so I don't know if that was that event, but I did show up to all the club meetings, and I was being a loyal member, so I just didn't understand why, but that's just my bad club experience. Alright. Now that we have those all out of the way, thank you so much to watching, and thank you to everyone who sent me their response. I loved looking at them. It was so interesting, and if you guys enjoyed this, please tell me, and I can make a video of this in my future. And by the way, shout out to my friend. She doesn't want me to say your name, but she actually gave me the idea of doing this, so thank you to her. Anyway, I hope you enjoy and have an amazing day, and Merry Christmas to everyone, and I hope you guys get lots of presents and have such a fun time. And this moose is starting to creep me out a little bit, but we're just gonna, yeah. Oh, she's kissing him. Okay. Kiss, kiss. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys for coming, and I hope you have an amazing day.